guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Summer House Martha's Vineyard. This is season 2, episode 4. So let's get into it. Sometimes before we get into the review, we get a little spicy, just a little bit. So our first spicy thing is congratulations to Preston and his fiance. So this was reported by Jay's reality blog on last Thursday, and it says Preston's from hashtag Summer House Martha's Vineyard is engaged. Congrats. Hashtag Summer House Martha's Vineyard. And then they got this via 9 days. So they announced it on People's Magazines. But shouts out to Preston and his now fiance. So I wonder if we're gonna get to see him. I know we saw his fiance when they were on FaceTime together, but I wonder if he's going to be now like a regular on Martha's Vineyard. It probably will be a good sign of like representation because Preston seems cool. And this guy, I mean, we don't know him, but they seem cool. But then again, you might want to protect your relationship because, you know, it's that reality TV curse. But, you know, again, congratulations. And then the last thing is I was on Kempire. He's a really prominent YouTuber. He's almost at 400K, but he actually did a phone interview with Alex and it was pretty good. So check him out. I'll put his information on the screen if you would like to check it out. But it was interesting because he was trying to refute the claims about everyone calling him an F-boy and about him hooking up with Summer. It was interesting. It was an interesting conversation. So check it out. But let's get into this review. So the episode opens up where it left off, where we got Summer and Jordan arguing in the car. Preston and Alex just looking like, girl, what is going on? So Summer is like, she feels disrespected by Jordan, and that's understandable because Jordan was speaking to Summer very condescendingly. And the fact that Jordan to me can't own that, I wouldn't want to be friends with somebody like Jordan, but that's just me. So they go in, like Summer's in the house. She having a full-on meltdown. You got Shanice and Nick sitting on the couch eating chips and dip. And I'm not gonna lie, the way they was messing them chips up. Like Shanice was dipping. Nick was like, you know, if we had this type of chip with this, it'd be. It's like, are they drunk? Because honestly, I probably would have been sitting on the couch with them eating chips. But well, two things. I might have been sitting on the couch eating chips with them, or I would have took the chip bag and the dip and was following everybody around trying to understand the gossip, trying to understand why we fighting. But that's just me. So we see Summer asks Jasmine, can I sleep in your room or can you sleep with me? And Jasmine's like, yeah, are you okay? And Summer's just like, Jordan is always defensive, which she is. Jordan always is defensive. Like, you try to have a conversation with Jordan and there's like this tinge of like, she's just ready to like be on guard. And so now it's Amir, Shanice, and Nick, and Jasmine in Jordan and Summer's room. And Summer is having a melt. She was like, I was just hugging her like 10 minutes ago while she was crying in the bathroom and I'm not a good friend. And everyone's like, girl. And then Amir's like, breathe. Like, Summer, breathe for me. Breathe. He was like, do this for me. 1, 2, 3. And she said, I said, yeah, girl, calm down. And then Shanice is over here farting because she's eating like, I think, sour cream and cheddar chips, which are good. Sour cream and onion, cheddar, the Cool Ranch chip, and what's the purple bag, Doritos bag? Fire, okay? And it's some nice Lay's chips, like some crispy, girl, a moment. So she's just like having a moment. Noelle, we see, is in her room breaking down because she's embarrassed that she shot her shot with Alex and he pretty much rejected her. So now she crying, talking about she need to call her mom. You know, Alex is in his confessional like, it's so much chaos going on. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Mind you, it's only been 5 days out of the 15 days they've been there, girl. Y'all didn't even make it to 10 days before everything starts to break down. So Summer still is drunk and upset. Jordan is now like in the house because her and Preston are talking. And then Shanice asks Jordan, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And Jordan feels like she feels like exposed. She feels like everyone is using things. This is going to be used against her. She's mainly talking about the whole alopecia thing. My thing about it is that I don't believe that Summer used that against her. I think Summer's whole thing, and maybe some people may say she did. To me, I don't think she did because she was just pointing out the fact that, like, girl, I'm always here for you. I'm always riding for you. And yet you can speak to me and belittle me. I mean, girl, if it's a fact, it's a fact, even if it is being used against you. But Jordan made it seem like Summer was telling everybody, oh, she has alopecia. But you just shared with everyone that you are losing your hair. Like, you've been sharing it with pockets of people. Maybe it's because she didn't want Jasmine to know, because that's who Summer was having a conversation with. But we then see Jordan and Nick Jordan, Nick, and Preston in Preston's room, and Jordan starts to break down, talking about, I'm losing my hair. I don't feel like myself. I feel like this was being used against me. Nick is sitting on the floor with her while she's crying, and Nick was like, y'all just need to talk to each other. And then she was like, I think Nick was like, y'all are friends. Y'all just need to speak to each other. And Jordan was like, are we? Are we? And Nick was like, yeah, girl. Like Nick's face, Nick and Noelle to me have the best facial expressions when it comes to them looking at people like perplexingly or being shocked by stuff. Cause Nick was like, yeah, girl, this is not that deep. So it's the next day and they decide to go to church. Like I said, they're going to church. We see that last night Jasmine, Noelle, and Summer slept in the same room. We know Noelle is the one that has the 2 beds in her room. Mind you, I still don't understand why Jordan and Summer just didn't pick that room and gave Noelle the bigger room. Because honestly, we too grown to be sharing a bed if you not my man. Or my sister. Like, they were like, and I have at least like 3 people. No, I got at least 6 people like that. If you're not my man, that are women that I can share the bed with, because those are like my best friends or like my closest friends. But like, still, if the option was there for me to like sleep in like a bed by myself, I'm sleeping in a bed by myself. Like, I want my own bed, like, and even if I had a man, I'd probably be like, sometimes I don't need you all up in my space. So it's whatever. It's whatever. So we only see Shanice, Alex, Nick, and Jasmine go to church. Mind you, Shanice didn't have anything to wear. And I don't think what she had on was bad. Although I was just kind of like, Shanice, you don't want to be at church. Because the whole time that they were at church, she was yawning. We get a little more backstory about Alex. We find out that he's like 4th generation Pentecostal, which is like PK kid. Well, I don't think he's a PK kid. He's a church kid. I'm a church kid. So I was like, okay, cool. I cackled when I saw Nick with that do-rag on, because it reminded me of seeing my cousins or my dad or my grandfather with like their their do-rags, or they're like, I forgot the name of them, but the wave cap before we get to church. Like, they did not take that cap or the do-rag off until we got like in the church parking lot. So to see Nick have it on, it just brought back memories. So they get to church. We see Summer and Preston having a conversation, and Summer is just kind of like, Preston, can you give me some insight about what's going on? And Preston said, well, Jordan feels like you used the whole alopecia thing against her. And Summer kind of makes this face like, no, I was explaining to them that like, it feels like every time like Jordan doesn't appreciate what I do for her, or like she speaks to me negatively. And what we find out is Summer says she feels like she's been taking on Jordan's emotions as it pertains to like making sure she's okay with the whole alopecia thing and stuff like that. And she just feels like now she's like overwhelmed with the experience. We see Noelle sitting at the sitting at the counter table as Bria. Although she looked cute, I didn't get what was on Bria's head. I was like, Bria, what are you doing? But she was mopping and cleaning, and pretty much she started cooking dinner because they were gonna have soul food night since it was Sunday. And Bria was like, Alex didn't ask me to go to church. And then Noelle was like, yeah, he didn't ask me either. Like, he came in the room and just asked Summer. And I said, Noelle, you look pressed. And we're going to get on Noelle, but I feel like Noelle doing too much right now. I still like you, but you doing too much. So we see Summer say she's gonna go talk to Jordan. So Summer goes up into the room where Jordan is sleeping, and all Summer says, "I'm gonna be by the pool. You can join if you want." And then walks out. I said, "Summer, what was that?" What was that? Was not an invitation, lady. So we then see Summer and Noelle sitting beside the pool, and Noelle gets emotional because she says she feels like she was rejected by Alex, and then she said it made her feel like she was rejected by her dad. And then we find out that Noelle's parents divorced when she was like 8 years old, and her dad basically was absent in her life, and she just was like, she always wonders like what could have happened, like why didn't he love me the way I needed to be loved. And she said in her teen years she looked for love so much. Girl, you still looking for it now. Noelle, I like you, but I don't think that it's fair to put all that weight on Alex. No one has to like you. Now granted, your daddy and your mama should, because you didn't ask to be here, and that's your jobs as parents. But I think what Alex did was correct. He wasn't interested, and he told you very in a kind way, in my opinion, that, hey girl, I'm not feeling you like that. And I just think Noelle is more so embarrassed at the fact that like she shot her shot and it just, you missed the bucket, girl. Is it the bucket? No, you missed the basket. You didn't get a bucket, you know? And it's kind of like, yeah, rejection is an icky feeling. It's embarrassing, especially when you feel like you vibing with that person and then they let you know, girl, it's not that over here. So I was like, Noelle, you got to kind of take that L. Girl, you got to take that L. So we see Bria cooking. We see Bria is still upset with Jasmine because she's talking to Summer and Noelle. And basically, Bria feels like Jasmine played her. Like, she's like, you made it seem like Mariah wasn't confirmed until you got the okay with me, but come to find out, you were already going to have Mariah be here, and I don't think that's right or fair. So she's in her feelings. Everyone comes back from the house. Bria is like questioning Alex, like, how come you didn't invite me to church? And Alex is like, it was an open invitation to everybody. Pretty much like, girl, if you didn't get up, that's on you. So we see Noelle go and call her mom. She starts crying to her mom, talking about, I feel crazy. And her mom snapped her out of it because her mom was like, girl, you're human. But I also feel like Noelle wasn't telling the full truth. You did tell Alex you were interested in him, and the fact that you feel like he was being disrespectful or rude to you because he was like, talking to other girls in front of you, ma'am, you were Lady in the Tramp style eating a cupcake with some random dude that came into the house, Shanice's friend Hendrix, and he didn't say anything to you. So it's like, how can you expect him to treat you a certain way when you're doing the same thing? Y'all aren't together. Y'all are single. You're putting more weight on this than anything. And I think what it is Noelle, I feel like, is like an overthinker, kind of like how I am, where I think she is just like replaying it over and over and constantly giving herself embarrassment or secondhand embarrassment of like being a person where you can see yourself and all these, being like, what if I would have went this way, or what if I would have did this, or what if I would have did that. But the truth of the matter is like, girl, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So they decide once everyone is back, like everyone is kind of chilling, and they're like, oh, let's go to the beach. What I will say is I love that they are down at Martha's Vineyard during like the summer or spring break or whenever, the on season, because it's nice to see like everybody out and about and see so many Black people just hanging out at the beach. You saw the kids in the ocean like playing. You see people shopping. It just seems like it's a vibe in Martha's Vineyard. So they're playing games. They're playing like Martha says, like Simon says. They also were, they play like, I think it's like HBCU, like, or Black spelling. I don't know. Some of them words they were spelling like hunted. Yeah. But boss, B-U-S, I think it was like was it B-A-U-S-E? I ain't never seen nobody spell boss like that. I've seen people spell it direct, B-O-S-S. I was like, what is that? So they all had a good time at the house, and then they decided, you know what, let's all go back home. It's almost time to eat dinner. So we see Summer and Jordan finally have a conversation, and Jordan basically says she feels like Summer violated their trust or didn't ruin their safe space that they had. And Summer tells Jordan, I feel like you belittle me. And she was like, and I didn't tell Shanice about it. I told Shanice that like we just had a moment where you were crying to me, and now you're basically talking down to me. So then Jordan is like, this, the trust is kind of broken. Basically, Jordan wants to trauma dump on Summer and feels like Summer shouldn't feel no type of way. Girl, it's not Summer's job. You need a therapist. And I'm saying this, and not in a shady way, not in a mean way, or not in a condescending way. Jordan needs a therapist because you do come off angry all the time. You are always defensive and you don't take accountability, because in that moment, you should have been like, you know what? I don't see my tone being an issue, but if you're telling me it is an issue, I'm apologizing it to you, Summer. The same way Summer apologized to you that she broke y'all trust circle. But on some real, Jordan does need to work on how she speaks to people, because honestly, Jordan, you would have got cussed out if it was me and you. I wouldn't have gave an entire FUCK about the circle of trust. Then they all just sit down for Sunday dinner. Amir made Philly cheesesteak without the cheese. And I said he forgot it. And I said, Amir, that's like the focal point. I mean, a good crispy bun, some good shredded, beef with a nice, like with 2 slices or 3 slices of cheese. For me, add some onions on top of that and some jalapenos. You got me. So they were all laughing about it. You see Alex sitting next to Jordan, and he says in his confessional, he's kind of concerned about Jordan because it seems like she's gotten very quiet and she's not as vocal as she used to be. So they had a good dinner. It's the next day. It's day 6. We see Bria and Simon on the phone arguing. Simon tired of Bria's mouth because he's overworked. He was like, I just got off of work and now you arguing with me about like my plane ticket. And what it is like they both miss each other. So they have been prone to argue a lot. And she just was like, I'm dick deprived and I miss my man. So she missing him. But I think, are going to see Simon here soon. So it's Bria's day to host a party. It's called Bria's World. She has like alpacas, a popcorn. They had a chef make food, like 2 chefs make food. They had a cute little outside kind of canopy, well, not a kind of canopy area, a tent thing. I thought that was nice. Everyone dressed up in their outfits. They're taking pictures and having a good time. And everyone's asking Bria like, hey, are you and Simon are okay? And she's like, why do y'all need to know? I don't ask you about it. Bria, shut up, because you do. You was meddling last season. So why you mad they meddling with you because you and your man not good? Girl, get over yourself, Bria. But we finally find out that Jasmine is pregnant and she's on the on FaceTime with Silas, and she was like, she wants to tell everybody, but she's not in her 3rd trimester yet, so she doesn't want to let them know. But we know now that she's had a baby boy and she had a healthy pregnancy. Well, she ain't told us it was healthy, but I'm hoping it was healthy. But yeah, she wants to tell everybody because everyone's starting to like notice what's going on, but she didn't want to tell them yet because, it's kind of like bad luck to tell people too soon. So she takes the phone down. She says, I think everyone misses Silas. No, girl, you miss him. Don't nobody miss Silas. Don't nobody miss that bald-headed demon. But I hope he's safe. I do. Although I don't like him, I hope he's safe overseas. But he says something in German to all of them. They all waved to him, and he says how much he misses them. And it was a cute little moment. So Bria's World went out really well. So then as the day continues, we actually see everybody getting ready because they're going to go out to eat. And finally, shouts out to Noelle because she was plucking Jordan's wig. I said, that's what Jordan needed. See, I'm still irritated with Jordan because I honestly feel like Jordan wouldn't be feeling this bad about her appearance had she got a better wig. Like, girl, there's too many people in New York where Jordan lives that could get you a cute little wig, that could have plucked that could have been like a glueless lace wig, and Jordan would have been eating, and I bet you her confidence would have been like through the roof. But I think it's because her wig look a mess, she feeling self-conscious, because I would feel self-conscious if my wig was I feel some type of way. But they go to dinner. Alex brings up Jordan. He's like, Jordan, like, you kind of seem down. You haven't, your voice holds weight in this house, I guess. But he was like, I haven't heard your voice. And everyone's kind of joking with her. And then Jordan pretty much lets us know that, like, things are kind of heavy with her. She was just kind of like, I had to put a lot of things on pause. Her mom unfortunately passed away when she was 17. She was like, it's just her and her dad. She took care of her grandparents, her mom's parents. She was like, her dad's not sick, but she was like, time is always like a constant thing in her head. So she's always like overwhelmed with it. And then, alopecia. She's talking about how, as a black woman, your hair is currency. And I already told y'all, for me, my relationship with hair is a lot different because my hair is not seen as like desirable. I have 4C hair. I like my hair, but I know that it doesn't get the same respect as other people's. So like I don't hold that much weight in it. Not saying that I don't think my hair is beautiful. It's just that like I just see it like, okay, girl, it's hair. But I can understand Jordan, who's probably, like she said, she's not used to wearing wigs and probably loved her hair. And now it's getting to the point where like she's getting bald patches. She doesn't know if her hair is going to grow back. And it's a confidence, like it's a knock to her confidence. So she's just struggling with that. And then pretty much she's overwhelmed. So then Amir ends up saying, well, I hope everyone at the table, we got you. Like, no one wants you to feel like you're alone. Like, if you need us, call out to us. So then Alex is like, I learned so much about you in this one sitting versus last summer. And like the reason you didn't get to know me, because Alex is like, I've learned so much about you in this one sitting that like, and it's not because I wasn't willing to learn about you last summer. I just feel like you didn't give much, but this, I know a lot about you and I respect you for it and all of that stuff. They hug on Jordan, they give her some love and everything. Then Jordan says, Alex, the reason you ain't get to know me is because you had me effed up because of my friend and I was really going to kick your ass. Real talk. See, Jordan, this is the thing. You aggressive, ma'am. You are aggressive because she did the same thing with Phil. She did the same thing with Phil. Mind you, I did think Phil coming into the way he came into the house was horrible, but she got in Phil's face the same way, like gave him that real aggressive energy. And I'm like, Jordan, had Alex been a different dude, he had cussed you out and made you feel this small, then everyone would be mad at Alex. And you see that Jordan doesn't do that with any of the other girls in the house. Because mind you, had Jordan said something to me like that, I'd have told Jordan, girl, I will snatch that wig off your head and really embarrass you. Real talk. Don't you ever threaten to do nothing against me, sis. Because this ain't what you want or what you need. And see... Because what was that for? And that's why, Jordan, that's why people don't like you like that. And I was talking about, I heard a theory, and I feel like more and more Jordan proves that theory to be right, where someone said, I wonder if Jordan was supposed to be like the focal point of the house, but Jasmine and Silas became the focal point of the house because they were connected to way more people, and Jordan now feels the need to like throw her weight around in the house. Because what was the need for you to threaten to kick another, like a grown man's ass that was actually kind of being nice to you and trying to check up on you? Yeah, girl, get out of my face. Oh, I done told Jordan to get out of my face. So then Alex is like, what? So then she was like, you said I was toxic. I was a toxic friend last season. I was like, girl, you should have addressed it last season. Then you Googled Shanice, and then Shanice chimes in about, the whole stalker thing, and she gets emotional. And then Nick was like, no, I didn't Google nobody. I wanted Shanice to get ahead of it and talk about the story. Nick is the one that Googled. Nick was like, how am I in this? So then Nick was like, because I'm going to vindicate myself. He said, yeah, I Googled. He was like, we all talked about it. It was Nick, Preston, Bria, and me. And then we didn't even want to keep going. Jasmine is the one that brought it up. And then they showed the flashback of Jasmine and them sitting at the table talking about it. But I was like, don't talk about it. I even told Jasmine, like, let it go. So you don't be mad at me. So then Shanice starts breaking down. She starts talking about how she was traumatized by it. But my thing about it is, Shanice, is it's already on Google. And I don't fault anybody for Googling people that they're going to spend a whole 2 weeks with in a house with a bunch of strangers. Y'all don't all know each other like that. So I would have Googled. I'd have been like, oh, that's her. Okay, or that's him. Like, anytime I go somewhere with a group of people that I don't know, because I'm that friend, who all gonna be there? That is who I am. Who gonna be there? Because we need to check the energy, Really, it's not to check the energy. I just want to know what kind of mess y'all bringing. Because sometimes I'm here for the mess, sometimes I'm not. But like, I don't think it was wrong for them to Google her. And honestly, had Shanice stayed on this show a lot longer, then it would have came out that she was the person that was accused of stalking. So we later find out that the case was dismissed. We also find out that Bria spoke up for Shanice. I guess maybe like was asked to come to court and speak up for her. She said that the guy threatened to put out her nudes, or he did put out her nudes. And then she said now, because the case was thrown out, I guess criminally, he's trying to sue her civilly for like $20,000. And like she starts breaking down, and she was like, she don't like talking about her feelings. That's the other part. Shanice, you need to go to therapy too, because why? You're too grown not to want to talk about your feelings, sis. Legit. Jordan needs therapy. Summer needs therapy. Noelle needs therapy. Everybody at that table need therapy. Everybody, because you got Noelle trying to blame Alex for her issues with her daddy right about now, but then you all chummy and like talking and laughing with Alex. Then you have Summer talking about she got so much on her plate. You know, her grandma's about to have surgery. You know, she's trying to get to know her dad. I guess she just met her father. And then you got Jordan, who's been, you know, taking care of her grandparents because her mom passed away at 17. Now she worried about her daddy, the alopecia getting back. She always, you know, she got anxiety thinking about time. Now you got Shanice, who, girl, you could tell she suppressed her feelings with the way she acts. She need to go to therapy. Bria needs to learn to take her ass to anger management. And then Jasmine needs help with navigating this new chapter of her life. Put everybody in therapy. Put everybody in therapy. But Shanice ends up crying a lot. She feels a lot better. Alex is like, Shanice, can I hug you? They hug, and everyone's like, yo, that's really big because Shanice don't like to be hugged. So then everyone does shots, and they're all like vibing really well. You know, let's cheers to progress. Then Preston speaks up, and he was like, you know, we are all responsible for people not sharing. He's like, myself included, because he was like, we can't keep telling people to share but not create a space for them to feel comfortable to share, which is true. So we then see Amir and Jordan leave the table to go get shots. And then Bria and Jasmine happen. So Bria's like, you know, I got something to say, because if I don't say it, you know, I just got to get it out. You see Alex do this, like, Lord, we just came back from this. So next thing you know, Bria starts to get very, you know, and she's like, she's not comfortable with Mariah being there. Y'all put it in the comments, but I forgot that Bria and Mariah got into like a shoving match, and Bria was able to, not Bria, I forgot that Bria and Summer got into a shoving match, because even Jasmine brought it up where she was like, you and Summer talked and y'all were good, so why can't Mariah come? Because I think she know Mariah would beat her ass. I think Bria know if Mariah got a hold of her, she wasn't gonna let go. Whereas Summer, I don't know. And but I forgot about Summer and Bria getting into it. So Bria starts to get amped. She starts to get like real amped up. When I tell you Jasmine had me calculating when she said, I feel like I'm getting played right now. I feel like y'all trying me. But then in her confessional, she said, my mother is a resilient, brilliant, 2-time convicted felon. Don't play with me. I said, girl, what? That had me tickled. She said, my mother is a resilient, brilliant, 2-time convicted felon. Girl, don't play with me. I don't know. Jasmine might give Bria, no, I know it might. Jasmine would give Bria a run for her money. Jasmine would probably drag Bria. But Jasmine is just like, I'm frustrated. Like y'all said, you was cool. Now you not cool. So Jasmine starts crying. Noelle is trying to rub on Jasmine, trying to comfort her. Then Noelle's telling Nick, get Bria. Because Bria gets up mad, slamming her hands on the table. She walks around the table, and she was like, if I don't talk about it, then I'm going to talk about it at home, because I'm repressing my feelings. I said, Bria, shut up. And shouts out to Preston saying, girl, Bria be acting fake hood. Like, it's always, with her. It is. Like, Bria needs anger management, girl. So Amir and Jordan don't leave the bar, because they're like, we don't need to be there. So then next thing you know, Jasmine full on breaks down talking about like, I didn't even know where I stood with anybody in this house. I'm feeling like ostracized. The only 2 people I knew I was cool with was Alex and Bria. She was like, excuse me for wanting my friend here because I ain't got no other friends in y'all. And she just starts crying. And I'm like, girl, yeah, I feel bad for Jasmine. Because one, she's pregnant. Her man is deployed. This is her first time experiencing deployment, as well as you're pregnant. So you're going through this whole experience by yourself. And then it's like nobody at this table seems to like genuinely care about you. And now the person that you wanted to come, that you know has your back, that probably would ride for you, and you would probably have a better time in the house, is not there anymore. So she's probably feeling lonely and isolated, and it's messed up. It is. But that was the end of the episode because it ended with to be continued. So I guess next episode is going to open up with them still at the table and her probably telling everybody she pregnant. Y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and definitely hop down in the comments below and share your thoughts with me. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.